In this video, we'll look at how to join data sources in Panopticon visualization server. When you pull data from sources where you do not have the option of joining the data inside the source as you would be able to with, for example, a database, you can still join the data in Panopticon. So here we have an example where we have loaded some sales data, which could be from an exported file or a web API or something. The data we get is pretty bare bones. We have department IDs, we have sales rep IDs, and sales numbers per sales rep. If we'd like to enrich this data with something more readable, we can connect to additional data, and here we have a data source called sales rep names. If we enable preview selected data source, we can see that this data source in turn contains some sales rep names and each representative's ID number. We also have a data source called departments, which has a couple of columns, one with department name and one with department ID. And although these data sets come from separate sources, we can combine them by doing joins. And we join these two sources by pressing the join symbol here, and we have the option of doing a left outer join, a right outer join, an inner join, or a union. And in this case we will do a left outer join, which means that onto this first left hand side data source we will attach matching data from a different data source. We continue by adding a join key. And in the left data source, we say that we want to use the sales rep ID column. And in the right source, we also want to use the sales rep ID column. These names do not need to match. We can map left side and right side key columns with different names. At that point, we can do refresh preview. And by unchecking preview selected data source, we are instead previewing the resulting data table called sales joined. And we see that in addition to the three original columns, we have now enriched the data with the sales rep name column. We have 9 rows in total. And thanks to doing a left outer join, we have only added the matching rows from the right hand data set, the sales rep names. So down here we have a few names that did not get included in the final data table because they did not find a match in the left hand data set. At this point we'll continue and we'll join on additional data in a second step to get some descriptives about departments. And we press the join button, we select left outer join, we add a new join key. And at this point, the left-hand side is the combination of the sales and the sales rep names data set. We select department ID as the key here, and the right-hand key is something we find in the last data source here, and it's going to be department ID. So we do refresh preview, and now we see that the final complete data table has been enriched with the department name as well.